morning, welcome back to my channel. It's Saturday the 2nd of November and I'm here to record very quickly a recap of my Roman Szmal month. So October was my focus on Roman Szmal palette, which you have seen in several videos before. I'll link the most recent one to do with why up here in the cards. So how did I get on? Well, first of all, beginning of October I was traveling. I was in the UK for I think 10 days in total. I left here on the 5th and I got back on the very late on the 14th, so not quite 10 days. And what I did is I transferred some of my favorites into this palette. The palette that I took, so this was the palette that I took with me, and I did not deviate from this for much of the rest of the month. I kept this palette going, this little one, as you can see. That's now no longer a palette. I've now resurrected my previous palette, which was the Gian Dobie Making Colour Sing palette. Again, I'll link that one in the description. What happened? Let me show you. So this colour range, you can see we've got some blues, some greens. This is Undersea Green from Daniel Smith, but it's okay, it's removed now. Brownies, yellows, and pinky reds. And obviously this is burnt sienna. So that palette has since evolved to become this, but I'll talk about this in a moment. I started off the month swatching with you in that video. So we've got some swatches, and actually I wanted to play with putting colour over the Roman Szmals as well. So this is Holbein, these are luminants, this was a polychromos, and I don't know if you can tell, but this was the cobalt turquoise light from Roman Szmal, and then the polychromos on top, opposite colours, so it actually came out really lovely. But I was thinking about when I do illustrations, because I am working on some for that big project, how could I use the Roman Szmals underneath with mixed media things on top? And the Holbein and luminants and polychromos work beautifully on top. So those are the original swatches that we did. Now I'm just gonna say this looks like a big pile of work, but actually there's not much in any of the sketchbooks, because I had this feeling that I'd done loads and I was really excited to share loads with you, but then looking back through it, it's a lot of unfinished stuff, which is kind of par for the course for me, right? So let's start with this one and get this one out of the way. This was a little Katie Moody live session that I attended. I tried to do this during the call, it was a disaster. This was another Katie Moody call, hated it. I joined each of the calls that she did because it was her 1 year on Patreon, so I joined each of them. I had them on in the background. Each when I tried to do something and I was not happy, I did not like this, I hate this, so I didn't finish it. But I'm showing it to you because I've always said my sketchbooks are not places full of pretty work. They're me trying things that are new, and I did not enjoy this. Roman Szmal on the bottom, pencils, some kind of ink pen, I don't recall. I hate it. This was another live call of Katie Moody's, and I'd put down a background colour. I think this might have been the last one. And I went in very faintly with pencils. It's coming along, it's just pencils. If you're gonna do like the whole like slow layer blending, it takes forever. And this was another Katie Moody. I'd prepped the page, but I didn't actually do it during the call because I was just so not feeling it. So I did this tree after, and I think I might have even made the tree up. This one we'll come back to because that refers to something else I did in the UK. So these are dotted, they're not sequential in date order. They're like, I dot around based upon what the other page is behind it and in front of it. This was a photo from, I think it was my friend Kate in Turkey, but I may be wrong. May have been someone else, my friend CL on holiday, but basically I took a screenshot of the photo on stories and drew it quickly. This is Roman Szmals, and then I used watercolor pencils on top, and that was the last day of October, so Thursday. Oh, what's that? Oh no, that's the oil pastel one. Yeah, so that's it. Not a lot there. I also did a big page, ultramarine, deep green gold, deep green gold, and that would have been the golden yellow that I love. 3 colors, 3 tones, but again, I didn't do anything with it because time. So that's on my desk to do at some point. I don't know when I'm going to get all the things done that I'm going to get done. Then we'll move to this one because this one's easy. It only has 1 in it, and this was the Santa Maria Venice from an Ian Fennelly before my access to the membership was cancelled because I can't keep paying for things I'm not using, and I'm not using it. So I was like, okay, I have to do one thing quickly. So I did this on the 29th, which is when my access finished. Yeah, I don't mind it. It's Roman Szmals in the background, and then what did I put on top? Must have been pencil because I can see some pencil line and ink. I have this idea because I love Ian Fennelly's work, but it's like if you try to do anything in his style, it's very obviously an Ian Fennelly take on things. So I'm trying to find a medium where, because I love his style with the ink and the watercolor being quite a minimal palette, but I haven't figured out whether watercolor plus color pencil works for me. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet, but I quite like that one. Then we have another loose page. I don't like cold pressed paper. I've said it. If you're not using any kind of media on top, if it's just watercolor, I'm sure it's beautiful, but I don't have the skills to just use watercolor on cold pressed paper. I'm just not very skilled at watercolor. And I do need to practice, and then I might be skilled, who knows. But I didn't like how this looked, so I put color pencil on top and I hate it even more. So there you go, another one I dislike. Then let's get the big one at the bottom out of the way. This was a comparison between Roman Szmal and Egolina. I had this idea that I'd compare the two and then I'd put like black things in front of them. I was thinking about Folktale Week and stuff and got kind of bored, didn't enjoy it. I really like how the Egolina pens create this kind of like really vibrant colour. I do like the Roman Szmal one. I think it was, oh gosh, now I'm going to forget the names of them. The one that granulates, the granulating pink. Then there's the golden yellow, which I adore. And then this was probably, I'm not sure, lemony yellowy. Nickel titanate? No. Oh, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. And then I'm not very good at trees. And someone who I'm friendly with on Instagram, Farzana, she loves trees. She's been doing trees all month and I've been jealous of her trees. So I was like, well, maybe I can try and draw some trees. So these are my Roman Szmal bases, which is just like, it was a super colour. You can hardly see now that there was any watercolour underneath, I don't think, because I've gone over it with pencil. But that's Roman Szmal's limited palette trees. I quite like those. That's all I did in this book. That's my Moleskine. Also, I've had a complete rearrange, which is why there's no green background, of my little, what was my sewing room, I'm now calling my like studio room. It's not very big, but if you would like to see an up-to-date tour, because I've got it very organised for my artiness, let me know in the comments. Then let's do this one next. Oh good lord. Because so this is my Venezia Fabriano sketchbook that I got in Porto, and yeah, I'm not showing you that one either. See, I'm very honest here. I show you the bad. This was from reference photos from Katie Moody's Patreon for the water month of September, but I hadn't done much of the water month, so I was like, I'm going to do some of the water month and catch up. These are supposed to be dolphins. I don't know why I chose them to do in orange and blue. You know what I'm like, I'm contrary. My mum would say I'm contrary. Fish, a whale, and I think I tried to do a whale in greens. But again, a lot of the work that I've been doing in my sketchbooks has been like after 11 p.m. at night. Generally, I'm quite tired and exhausted at 11 o'clock at night because I've been working on the secret project since like 9 in the morning every day. So yeah, this was a still life from Emma Block's Patreon. She puts up a weekly photo to draw from and I'm really enjoying it. I've been in other Patreons where they put up like an image per day and I find that too much, but Emma does like one a week, and then yeah, I really enjoy it. And the month of October was still lives, and I kind of feel like the still lives could be a thing for me, but I'm not so sure now by the end of the month. Anyway, this was early in the month. I think it was tomatoes from her garden, but I'm not sure. I can't remember because I just put blobs of beautiful colour down, look, and then I drew around them with a pencil. I quite like if we didn't see, I'm trying to find a piece of paper now, like that I love. I think that's nice and simple. I'm cool with that. But because it has this next to it, I'm a bit like, oh no. So this was another pre-prepped page for a Katie Moody Patreon. So she had put some images up of what we'd be working from the next day, and I was like, oh brilliant, I'll pre-prep some pages. And then I rocked up and I couldn't keep up, and I was like, okay, quit, I'm just gonna do work. I like the effect. You see the splatters. I did wet on wet, and then on the cool I tried to draw, and I'm just like, you know. Then this was another Emma block. This was a live cool that I managed to stick with in 23rd of October. So these are both Roman Szmals, but they have neo color on top. So neo color is the purpley lilac and a bit of pink here, and then the flower lines, those are neo color as well. Most of it is Roman Szmal. This one I started and we started with 10 minutes and then I was enjoying it, and she said to us all, oh, do you want to continue for another 10? And we were like, yeah, okay. And then I hated it, and I really enjoyed this. This was 40 minutes, but that's all neo color, so it's going to transfer if I don't put a bit of paper in there. And that's it for that sketchbook. See, it looks like I've done loads because of all the sketchbooks, but actually I haven't. Let's do the big one underneath. See, told you. So this was me being like, oh, I'll do watercolor month under C month in Katie Moody's Patreon. Return to one that I'd done previously that I didn't enjoy, I didn't like. I was like, I'll go down, I'll do it properly. Hit the page, that's it. Never went back to it. And then I was like, okay, well maybe I'll just do some abstracts like I did for Acrylic Ink Month. No, don't like them. This was one that I did as, it was the final one in a collection here. And this one I recorded and put on YouTube because I was like, well, I'm actually having fun, so let's record it and put it on YouTube. And I really like how in the video I say, and I'll put the video up here, but in the video I'm like, oh no, because I accidentally put green on, but it works really well because it looks like a moody, slightly like the sun's trying to come through sky. I really like that, so that was a happy mistake. I forgot this one was in here actually, so I'm glad I've seen it because it makes me happy. It's like I managed something good this month. I learnt something. This is gouache, ignore that. This is gouache, ignore that. This was watercolor. It's Roman Szmals with Holbein on top, and I was trying to do some kind of still lifey thing, but yeah, I think it came out as a, I think it looks like the peach that it's supposed to be, but I was playing with brighter colors as fun. So this is all Roman Szmal. And then this is when I was home. I took a photo passing through quite fast from through a train station on the way to my dad's, and the light was setting, the sun, so there was this beautiful color, and it was reflected off the window as well of the train. And I try to do like the whole like paint and then pen on top. No, I love it, but I don't. I think it's quite rubbish, but I'm just getting to the fact that I don't think watercolors are my medium. I think they're too unpredictable and I don't understand how to make them work for me. So then we come to the final sketchbook, and this is a bit scattered. The sketchbook's finished, so I will be recording a flip through in due course. Or have I already done it? I might have done it because I've got a few videos that I've recorded but haven't edited yet. Another situation where I prepared the page for Katie Moody and then didn't get around to doing it. This was another seaside one for the water month. I put all the Roman Szmals down, and then I got my towel and I absorbed the colour, so it had this kind of faded background, and I quite like how it looks, but I need to do something with it, but I don't know what. This was for October. I also have a video going up reviewing my October because I finished my October sketchbook. That'll come out tomorrow, I think. Oh, so this I was like, wow, let's try like little miniature versions. So I did masking tape, Roman Szmal colour backgrounds, and then went in with pencils. Got bored, so I stopped. Boredom is a problem for me. I think it's because when I do have like pockets of time, I want to be doing something bigger and better. I've decided, I've realised I also don't enjoy working so small. This was another one prepped for Katie Moody that might be upside down actually, I'm not sure. I'm confused. Roman Szmal colours, apart from, I suspect this here was Undersea Green from Daniel Smith because that was still in the palette at the time. This was when I was at my dad's and I did circles. It's hard to do much at my dad's because he chats, which is great because that's what I'm there for, but I'm not very good at doing stuff when other people are making noise. I can handle music, but that's about it. So I was just doing blobs of colour and then putting other colours in to see how they reacted. Then, because I'd mixed colour, putting it here so I didn't waste it. That doesn't count. This is one that you'll see in here, I think. Or did I show you that already? I think I already showed you that. I'm confused now, I don't know where anything is. So basically, this was from a book when I was at my dad's. I was home, I put Roman Szmal down, and then I went in with pencil, and I love this. But do you know why I love it? Because of all the colour. It's like the yellows and the goldens and then the tone, like, yeah, and the big rocks. It's a sketch really, isn't it? It's just a basic sketch, but I love it. That was my brother's. My dad did a drawing with me. This is from a Katie Moody Patreon. That was Roman Szmals with Neo colour on top, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure now. Might have been my polychromos. See, this is the thing, because I did do, like, this was late at night again, like at midnight. This was an Emma Carlisle one. Ah, there we go. So this is the beginning stage of the one that I showed you in the big sketchbook. The quick sketch, 10 minutes. So this was to do with narrative, so a photo and then zooming in here, zooming in there, and then zooming it out. That was the other one. Last one in Set in CY, so you've seen the last one. And that's it. Like, not a lot of work, actually. Now, how has this changed my way of working? So what I've done is, based upon how much I reacted to the colours this month, I put together, this is unusual for me because you know I'm a bit of a particular person. I actually have a video, it's edited and uploaded, but I don't think it's gone live yet, on my palettes. And for the longest time this was my Daniel Smith palette, but now it's my Remnants palette, which doesn't mean it's a bad thing. This palette has had lots of love, look. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means that because this one is really too big to be taking out and about. So this one only ever gets used here at home. But I didn't want to be mean to Roman Szmal or mean to Daniel Smith. And so I went through and I did lots of swatching and I picked out my favourites from the Roman Szmal collection. And then I looked at what I had that was Daniel Smith that wasn't identical, so to fill in the gaps. I had enough of the two to create this palette. So we have Roman Szmals along here. These two are new. I was waiting for them to arrive. They arrived yesterday. This is the Green Earth. This is the Autumn Green. So I have not used these all month, but look at that. This is for Kilby. Kilby basically enticed me to get it because she was like, oh, I don't need any Roman Szmals. You should get it because there's a sale. So I did. I can be influenced very easily. But I am so glad she influenced me because this is such a beautiful colour. It reminds me of Green Apatite from Daniel Smith. Look at the greens and the yellow where it's really granulated beautifully. And then Green Earth I wanted because I've got, yeah, this is the Derwent Light Fast Green Earth and it's such a beautiful colour, and I was like, maybe the Roman Szmal paint will be similar. It is. So I haven't put these into order yet. I based it upon me having, so I wanted to keep it as organised as possible. Is that the right direction? Yeah. No, this is wrong. Sorry friends. There we go. So it's like this. So we've got Roman Szmal along the bottom, here, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. All along the top, the glubby ones. Those are all up to here. Those are all Daniel Smith. This is Holbein's Olive Green. This is Holbein's Lavender. The reason that's in here is because somebody else said, oh, I love the lavender from Roman Szmal. And I was like, I can't buy another one because I actually don't have a lot of money. Quite poor at the moment. And also, oh, but I just recently learned, like literally a few days ago, that there's a store here called Splendid in the Netherlands, and she has now started stocking Roman Szmal paints, and they are a fraction of the price that they are in Jackson's. I guess because of the whole like import-export duty from the UK. Yeah, so that's good news for when I am no longer poor. I got messy fingers. The problem I've always had with the Roman Szmals is they're so sticky. Like trying to get something out, I just end up filthy. But I'm kind of getting used to how sticky they are, and I'm really liking them. There was a big guess about how much I was enjoying them, and some people said, oh, it doesn't like you made much of a dink. God, I can't speak today. It looks like you haven't gone into them much. That's the easiest way to say it. And I would say not the case. These have had quite a bit of love, but I'm also quite sparing in the way I use it because I have this thing of like, oh my gosh, if it runs out, how am I going to get another one? But actually, I can get Roman Szmals now, so I need to stop being so worried. Yeah, they're quite beautiful. I tried to put in the ones that I absolutely loved using in the month, but then some that I haven't used at all. So like Misty Morning was not in my little palette, so I made sure to put that in here. I loved the Payne's Grey. The Iron Chrome is really opaque. I'm getting used to it. I think the Blue Ridge Burnt Sienna is a bit rubbish. It's a bit weak and pansy-ish, but it's fine. I can deal with it. We've got the Transparent Red Oxide from Daniel Smith to help that along. But I've also got the Roman Szmal Transparent Red Oxide, so I'm going to decide which of those I prefer, whether I can do without one or the other. Because if I did away with this, I'd have 2 more holes. See? Thinking. Naphthalmide. Oh, sticky. Gross. Naphthalmide Maroon, these ones I showed. These are Undersea Green, always has to be in a palette. Hooker's Green and Phthalo Green Blue Shade. I never use those in my Daniel Smith palette, so I was like, if I put them in here, might use them, might love them. Yeah, Pyro Red. That's not on here. I forgot to colour it in. I need to remember that. So that is the results. I've managed to merge some Roman Szmal into my palette, create a palette that I love. I'm actually going uptown now. I'm going to edit this really quickly so I can upload while I'm going uptown. I've had no coffee today. That's probably why I can't speak. We're out of coffee, so I have to go uptown to the shop that sells the coffee, buy the coffee, come back. But I'm going to take my sketchbook with me and my Roman Szmal palette, even though it's Gouache month. Oh, sorry. Even though it's not Roman Szmal month anymore, I'm still going to take my mixed palette with me and do some little sketches. And yeah, that is it, my friends. I enjoy the Roman Szmal palette. I enjoy Roman Szmal paints. I am converted. I will be loving them forevermore, I'm sure, even if I do find the stickiness annoying. I do love how easily they re-wet, and I apologise to all the fans of Roman Szmal ever suggesting that they were terrible because of their stickiness. That was really, really, really small-minded of me, and I apologise wholeheartedly. I am converted. With that all said, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. If you didn't catch my November challenge plans, that's in the video from yesterday. I'll pop it in the description below or up in the cards if I haven't already. And tomorrow there's another video, so you're lucky, 3 this weekend. Tomorrow's will be just a recap of Inktober, because as much as I sit here saying I didn't do much, I did Inktober every single day. I didn't necessarily do every image every day. Some days I did, like, I just didn't have time to do one, so I would do it the next day with that day's one. But I did get all 31 days done, which is a first. I'll see you tomorrow for that video. Lots of love, take care, bye!